Hello children and welcome to your channel Sharda Educare, and today we will be learning problem set 3 part 4. 3 videos are already uploaded and today we are going to go for part 4. So in this we will begin with the sum, 12th sum of your practice set problem set exercise. Prove that any 3 points on the circle are non-collinear. Non-collinear means not in one line. Not in one line. And the points are on the circle. And we need to prove that they are not in one line. Okay? So let us draw a figure for that, children. This is the circle and O is the center of the circle, children. It is said that any 3 points on the circle. Let me take point A, point B and point C on the circle. So let us write given points A, B and C are on the circle. Okay, point A, point B, point C are on the circle. It is given. What we want to prove? We want to prove that A, B and C cannot be in one line. Cannot be in one line. That means if the point A, B and C are on the circle, then those points are not on one line. That is what we want to prove. Is that clear? See, point A, point B and point C given are where on the circle, and we want to prove that they are not in one line. Not in one line means like this: A, B, C. Now all these 3 points are on one line. So we want to prove. See, we can see. When I have drawn the circle, we can see that point A, point B, point C are not on one line. But still we need to prove it mathematically, and that is only maths, children. So let us begin. Let me join OA, OB and start the solution. So first point, OA is equal to OB. Can you give me the reason, children? Yes, OA is equal to OB. We can see O is the center, A is on the circle, B is on the circle, so OA is going to be radius, OB is also going to be the radius. Therefore, OA is equal to OB. Radii of same circle. That means point O lies at equal distance from A and B. Because OA is equal to OB, that means O is lying at equal distance from A and from B. That means point O is on perpendicular A and B, perpendicular bisector of AB. See, if this is the line, for example AB, and I draw a line which is perpendicular to it, you have learned in construction, if this is 90 degree, every point on this line will be at equal distance from A and from B. Every point, children. Every point. The point which is lying on the perpendicular bisector will only be at equal distance from A and B. That shows that point O lies on perpendicular bisector of AB. Let me join line AB. Now join OC and join BC. What can you say now? Second point about OB and OC, children. O is the center, B is the point on the circle, O is the center, C is the point on the circle. So what can you say about OB and OC? We can say that OB is equal to OC. Again radii they are of same circle. That means point O is at equal distance from which point, children? From point B and C. Distance from point B and C. That means point O will lie again on perpendicular bisector of BC. So therefore point O lies on perpendicular. Now I explained you perpendicular bisector of BC. So point O is lying at perpendicular on the perpendicular bisector of BC. That means the perpendicular bisector of AB and perpendicular bisector of BC, if I am supposed to draw, if I am drawing this line and this line, this is the perpendicular bisector and this is the perpendicular bisector. So they are meeting at point O. Clear? That means perpendicular bisector of AB and BC intersect at O. And how did you know that? From this point, let me number it, children. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So from the point 2 and 4, we come to know that the perpendicular bisector of AB and perpendicular bisector of BC intersect at point O. Okay. Now this is what, when the points are A, B, C on the circle. Let us assume point A, B and C lie on one line. This is point A, this is point B and this is point C. So if I will draw a perpendicular bisector of this line, somewhere here it will be. If I draw the perpendicular bisector of BC, somewhere here it will be. And what can you see, children? When the point A, B, C are collinear, then the perpendicular bisector of those lines of line AB and BC are coming to be parallel. They are coming to be parallel. Let us assume that ABC are collinear. If they are collinear, then what can I write here? I can write that perpendicular bisector of AB is parallel to perpendicular bisector bisector of BC. Let me draw the figure here, children. See, this is point A, this is B, and this is C. I hope you can see clearly. And here is the perpendicular bisector. Let me write L. And here is the perpendicular bisector. Let me write M. So what we are coming to the conclusion, when the point A, B, C are on one line, that perpendicular bisector of AB and perpendicular bisector of BC, that is line L, is parallel to line M. If they are collinear, if they lie on one line, see, if they are lying on one line. So these two lines are not meeting when they are on one line. But here, when the points are on the circle, and if you draw the perpendicular bisector, they are cutting at one point, and that point is O point. That means they are parallel. But here, shall I rub this? Let me rub this at the top. So, this contradict our assumption. What was our assumption? That point A, B, C are collinear. And after point A, B, C we got collinear. Then we drew the point perpendicular bisector and we came to know that they are going to be parallel. But what we have got here? We have got that perpendicular bisector of AB and BC are intersecting. They will never intersect if the points are collinear. So contradict our assumption means perpendicular bisectors will never intersect when they are collinear. Will never intersect if A, B, C are collinear. That means point A, point B, point C are non-collinear when they are on the circle. They are non-collinear when they are on the circle. Did you understand, children? I hope you must have understood. See, point A, point B, point C are lying on the circle, and when we drew the perpendicular bisector, we found that the perpendicular bisector are intersecting at one point. But when we assumed that they are ABC, the point ABC are collinear, and when we wanted to find the perpendicular bisector, how do they lie? We found that they will be parallel, they will never intersect. So that shows that points which are on the circle are non-collinear. They can never be in one line. Children, you can pause and you can write down the sum. Moving to the next question, children. Question number 13 is deleted, children. So we will begin with question number 14. Now what does the question 14 says? There is a circle with center O. P is point on the circle. R is another point on the circle. This is angle POR. Then there is a chord PQ and there is a chord RS. It is given that angle POR is equal to 70 degree. It is given this angle is how much? 70 degree. And major arc RS is equal to 80 degree. This arc is given as 80 degree. Okay. We need to find out, let me write here, children, to find what we need to find. First thing, major arc PR. Okay. Then major arc QSR and one more thing we need to find out, children. Major arc QS. Okay. Major arc QS, major arc PR and major arc QSR. This is what you need to find out. I hope you must have understood. I repeat again, O is the center of the circle. Angle POR is given 70. Major arc RS is given 80. You need to find out major arc PR. You need to find out major arc QS. And you need to find out major arc QSR. Let us begin with the solution, children. So, first we will start with what is given. First point. Angle POR is equal to 70 degree. Reason is given. Okay. Now you see angle PO is the center of the circle and angle POR is intercepting the arc PR. Intercepting means covering the arc PR and it is a central angle. So, you know, by central angle theorem, this arc measurement will be equal to the central angle. So, we can say O is the center and angle POR is central angle and therefore angle POR is going to be equal to measure arc PR. Measure of the arc PR. So, measure of the arc PR will be equal to the central angle. By central angle theorem, this will also be 70 degree. Now, what is given next? Measure arc RS is equal to 80 degree given. Children, it is given, see measure arc RS is equal to 80 given, but it is also given, I have not written here, PQ chord. Chord PQ is equal to chord RS. This is given, children. Okay, let us write here. Chord PQ is equal to chord RS and reason given. Now, if chord are equal, earlier I have explained you, this chord is subtending this arc. This chord is subtending this arc. That means if the chords are equal, then the arcs also will be equal subtended by the chord. Clear? So, we can say major arc RS is equal to measure arc PQ. How much is measure arc RS? 80. Equal chord, subtend equal arc. Subtend equal arc. This theorem I have discussed in one of the video and you have done that. So, if you don't know, you please go through that. Go through the playlist and you will come to know. So, measure arc RS is given 80 and measure arc PQ then will be equal to 80 only. So, we got measure arc PQ as 80, this as 70, this as 80. We can get this QS. We can get QS. We want to find out QS, children. Fine. So, now measure arc PQ. What can we do? See, we know this arc, we know this arc, we know this arc, we can find this arc because total of the circle is 360. We will add all these arc and subtract it from 360. We will be getting the value of QS. So, measure arc PQ plus measure arc PR plus measure arc RS plus measure arc QS is equal to 360 degree. Complete circle is how much? 360 degree. Complete circle is 360 degree, children. And now PQ is 80, PR is 70, RS is again 80 plus measure arc QS is equal to 360. This would be 80 and 80, 160. 160 plus 70 would be 230 degree plus measure arc QS is equal to 360. Now I will take this 230 that side minus 230. It will be equal to 130, children. So measure arc QS is 130 degree. This is what they were asking, children. Now we need to find out QSR. We got measure arc QS as 130. We want to find out QSR, children. See, it is starting from QSR. We know QS 130. We know RS 80. So we can add them. So I am going to rub it from top and we can do it. So measure arc QS plus measure arc RS is equal to, we will be adding those arcs by what? Arc addition property. Arc addition property will be equal to how much? Measure arc QS is 130 plus measure arc RS is how much? 80. That would give you 210. So 130 plus 80, children, 0, 11, 210. So we got measure arc QSR as 210 degree. This also we got, children. QSR. Measure arc PR we got, children, 70 degree. So we are done with the sum, children. You can pause the video and you can solve the sum, children. Children, we finished 14th sum and now 15th sum is coming under reduced syllabus. 16th is also coming under reduced syllabus. We will go for 17th sum, children. What does 17th sum say? It is an activity. There is a circle. In the circle, E, F, G and H points are there. And we need to prove, it is given that EF is parallel to GH. This is the point which is given. And we need to prove EG is equal to FH. To prove EG is equal to FH. First we should understand, children, and then we can do it. See, EF is given equal to, parallel to GH. Here line is already drawn. Okay. And it is mentioned that EF is parallel to GH. Let us write the first point. EF is parallel to GH and the reason is given. Okay. Since it is parallel, so what about this two angles? If GF is a transversal, this line is parallel to this line. What about this angle and this angle? Those two angles will be equal. So what would happen, children? See, we want to prove GE, chord GE equal to chord FH. We want to prove. Now this angle is going to be equal to this angle, alternate angle. Angle EFG is equal to angle FGH, alternate angle, because the lines are parallel. These two angles are equal. This angle is equal to this angle. Now look at this angle. This angle is intercepting this arc. So I can write third point, angle EFG is equal to half of major arc EG. Inscribe angle theorem. See, this angle is intercepting, covering this arc and inscribe in this arc. Clear? So by inscribe angle theorem, half of major arc EG, it will be equal to major angle EFG is equal to half of major arc EG. That is inscribed angle theorem. Now similarly, this angle is intercepting arc FH. So fourth point can be written, angle FGH is equal to half of major arc FH. This angle is intercepting this arc and inscribing this arc. So by inscribe angle theorem, now see, these two angles are equal. So what about these two arcs? They will be equal. See, these two angles are equal. This angle is equal to this. This angle is equal to this. So these two will be equal. So I can say half of major arc EG is equal to half of major arc FH. Half and a half get cancelled. And from where did I get? From 2, 3, 4. So we can write 2, 3 and 4. We got it. Now what are we getting? Major arc EG is equal to major arc FH. Two arcs are equal now. This arc is subtending this chord, corresponds to this chord, and this arc is corresponding to this chord. So if arcs are equal, the chords are also going to be equal. So we can say in sixth point, EG is equal to FH. Let me write chord. Chord EG is equal to chord FH because corresponding arcs, corresponding equal arcs subtends equal chord. See, if the arcs are equal, chords are equal. You can watch the video where I have proved this theorem. If the arcs are equal, then the chords are equal. So we are done with this, children. You can pause the video and you can write it down. Moving to the next sum, children. 18th sum is reduced from your syllabus and we will jump on 19th sum. What does this sum say? According to this sum, there are two circles. There is a large circle and there is a smaller circle, and there is a smaller circle. The large and the smaller circle touch each other at the point E, and D is the center of the large circle, and the smaller circle passes from the center of the large circle D. See here, children, smaller circle touches the bigger circle at the point E. D is the center of the large circle, children, and C is the center of smaller circle. Clear? So, and there is a chord E, A, chord of the larger circle touches the smaller circle at point A and at point B the larger circle. What we need to prove? We need to prove that is EA is equal to AB. We want to prove that. Fine, children. Once again I repeat, smaller circle is with center C, bigger circle is with center D. Both the circle are touching each other at point E, and there is a big chord which intersects the smaller circle at point A and cuts the bigger circle at point B. We want to prove that EA is equal to AB. So, this is the center, children. If I draw a line from here, you know, you have learned the theorem in 9th standard. A line drawn from the center. See, EB is the chord of the larger circle and D is the center of the larger circle. If I draw a line on the chord, it is going to bisect the chord. This is the theorem. A line drawn from the center to the chord is perpendicular, then it bisects the chord. It will divide the chord into two equal parts, and then we are done. Then we can say EA is equal to AB. But how do we prove that? Look at this. C is the center and D is the center of the larger circle. If we join them, what is ED? ED is the diameter of the smaller circle. ED becomes the diameter of the smaller circle. I can say first point, ED is equal to diameter of smaller circle. And why? Because E, C and D are in one line. Okay? E is the point on the smaller circle. D is the point on the smaller circle. Both the ends are joined and C is the center. A line passing through the center is the largest chord of the circle. That is nothing but a diameter. So, ED is the diameter. Now, you look at this. ED is the diameter. Then what about this angle? This is the angle which is subtended by the largest chord, or this is the angle which is inscribed in the semicircle. This is the below circle, half circle, it is the above circle. So, if a chord diameter will subtend an angle, that angle will be 90 degree. So, I can say second point, angle EAD is equal to 90 degree. Angle subtended by the angle subtended by diameter in semicircle. So this became 90 degree. Now if that is 90 degree, now children see AD or DA is perpendicular to EB. Now see, DA is perpendicular to EB. From where did we got this? From 2. And we know a line drawn from the center to the chord, and if it is perpendicular, then it will bisect the chord. So we can say fourth point, EA is equal to AB. Why? Line drawn from the center to the chord, line drawn from the center, line perpendicular to the chord, line perpendicular to the chord from center bisect the chord. Bisect the chord. Hence proved, children. And this is what we wanted to prove. Children, now we will move to the question number 20. Let us say first figure. It's an activity based question from your problem set, children. O is the center of the circle and AB is the diameter. There is an angle ACB which is inscribed in semicircle. Then there is a line which passes as a bisector, angle bisector, that is CD given. CD is angle bisector. CD is angle bisector of angle C. Means line CD cuts the angle ACB into two equal parts. It is given. We need to prove AD equal to BD. We can prove so easily. In 2 steps we can do, children. How can we do? See, angle ACB is bisected by line CD. See, I will show you here. Angle ACB, CD is angle bisector. Angle bisector given, and this angle is intercepting this arc. See, if this CD is the bisector, so this angle is going to be equal to this angle or not? Yes. This angle is intercepting this arc. This angle is intercepting this arc. If two angles are equal, arcs are equal. If arcs are equal, now only you have learned the theorem also previous to this also, corresponding arcs, chords of equal arcs are also equal. If these arcs are equal, we can say chords are equal. Isn't it? So simple. See, this is the angle, this is the bisector. This angle is equal to this angle. Therefore, this angle is intercepting this arc. This angle is intercepting this arc. If two angles are equal, two arcs are equal. If arcs are equal, chords are also equal. We can say by that method. But here, there are some points given in your textbook. We will refer those points and then we will solve it. Now look at this. We have to draw segment OD. This is O. O is the center of the circle and we have to draw OD. Clear, drawn. Fine. Angle ACB, see, AB is a diameter. It is inscribed in semicircle. Angle inscribed in semicircle. So angle ACB is 90 degree, children. Yes or no? Since it is inscribed in semicircle, so it is going to be 90 degree. 90 degree. Now angle DCB will be 45 degree, half of it. Clear? So this will be 45 degree because CD is the bisector of angle. CD is the bisector of angle ACB. Now major arc DB will be how much then? If this is 45 degree, this angle will be 90, this arc will be 90 degree because DCB is intercepting this arc and this angle is half of this arc. So if this angle is 45 degree, the arc will be 90 degree. So major arc DB will be 90 degree. Now, what about this angle? This angle also will be 90 degree. inscribe angle theorem we can say. Major arc DB is going to be inscribe angle intercepting this arc. So I can say here inscribe angle. This is the first point. Okay. Now ray OA is equal to ray OB. Now see, this is the center. So OA is equal to OBY, radii of the same circle. Same circle. Now what is OD? If see, this line is equal to this line and this is going to be 90 degree now children. There has to be one point here. Major arc DB is 90 degree. And if major arc DB is 90 degree, this angle will be 90 degree. Why? Because this is a central angle, DOB. So I must write here one. Angle DOB is equal to 90 degree and that is to be central angle. Whatever the measure of the arc will be there, that measure would be the central angle. So this is 90 degree. Now what has happened? OD is perpendicular to AB. So we have proved that OD is perpendicular bisector. Bisector. Why bisector? Because OA is equal to OB. So OD is dividing into equal part for AB. But at the same time it is perpendicular. Okay. And perpendicular bisector of segment AB. If any line is the perpendicular bisector, then all the point on that line would be equidistance. This I have explained first also. Okay. So this line would be equal to this line would be equal to this line would be equal to this. And point D is coming on perpendicular bisector only. So we can say AD is equal to DB. So we can say AD is equal to DB children. You can pause and you can write down.